The long road to katchchatheevu, the midnight departure. The journey began under the dim glow of the streetlights in Colombo. It was 10 p.m. when we, Dinesh, Dasun, and I, set off, leaving the city behind for the long drive north. The road was quiet, the air was cool, and by the time the sun began to peek over the horizon at 7 a.m., we had arrived in the historic city of Jaffna. There, our group became complete. Sudarshini, who had traveled all the way from Kuranegala, joined us. From Jaffna, we took a taxi straight to the Kuri Kaduan jetty, the gateway to the northern islands. The wait at the jetty was long, longer than we expected. Due to a shortage of civilian ferries and the massive influx of pilgrims, the Sri Lankan Navy stepped in to help. We were lucky enough to board a Navy warship. It was a powerful experience, standing on the deck of such a massive vessel. The journey across the open sea took 3 hours. We set sail at 3 p.m., and as the sky began to turn golden at 6 p.m., we reached the outskirts of the island. Because the ship was too large to dock, we were transferred into speedboats for the final leg. By 7 p.m., nearly 24 hours after leaving Colombo, we finally stepped onto the shores of katchchatheevu. The island was alive. Thousands of pilgrims from both India and Sri Lanka had gathered for the spiritual feast of Saint Anthony. There is a unique beauty in seeing these two nations meet. Despite the borders and the sea between them, the worshippers share a deep, quiet devotion. You see Indian fishing boats docked next to Sri Lankan ones, and families sharing meals on the sand. For these few days, politics and boundaries fade away, replaced by the sound of hymns and the flickering of candles under the starlit sky. You might wonder why this island, which is only 22 kilometers from Ramaswaram, India, but 62 kilometers from Jaffna, belongs to Sri Lanka. The ownership was settled through the Indo-Sri Lankan Maritime Agreement of 1974. Here are the primary reasons. Sri Lanka, then Ceylon, provided historical evidence of the island being under the administration of the Jaffna Kingdom, and later the British colonial government in Ceylon. To settle fishing disputes and define maritime boundaries in the Palk Strait, the Indian government, under Indira Gandhi, ceded the island to Sri Lanka to maintain strong diplomatic ties and a clear border. While Sri Lanka owns the land, the agreement specifically allows Indian fishermen to dry their nets on the island and permits Indian pilgrims to visit the shrine without a passport or visa during the annual festival. Standing there at St. Anthony's Church, the 24-hour journey felt worth every second. It isn't just an island, it's a bridge between two cultures. Under the stars and the northern coast, a night at St. Anthony's. Stepping onto the shores of katchchatheevu, the air felt different, filled with salt and the scent of incense. After the 24-hour trek, the first thing we did was head to the St. Anthony's Church to pay our respects. To wash away the fatigue of the journey, we took a dip in the crystal clear waters of the beach nearby. As night fell, we set up our camping hut right in front of the church. Falling asleep to the sound of hymns and the ocean waves hitting the shore was a spiritual experience I'll never forget. The next morning at 9 a.m., it was time to head back. This time, we boarded a passenger boat. It was a slower 4-hour journey back to the mainland, giving us plenty of time to reflect on the festival. We reached the Jaffna jetty around 1 p.m. and headed straight into town for a much-needed local lunch. The beauty of Kanke Santhuri, KKS. With a few hours to spare, we took a taxi to Kanke Santhuri Beach, and honestly, it's one of the most beautiful spots in the north. The sea here is a stunning shade of turquoise, calm and incredibly clear. The beach is wide and clean with soft white sand that stretches as far as the eye can see. Unlike the busy beaches in the south, KKS has a peaceful, untouched beauty. Watching the sunset there at 6 p.m. was the perfect way to wind down our northern adventure. A final stop at Nalur. Before our 10:30 p.m. bus back to Colombo, we made one last stop at the Nalur Kandaswamy Kovil. Even at night, the golden architecture of the Kovil is breathtaking. It provided a quiet, respectful atmosphere to spend our final hours in Jaffna. Heading home. By 9:30 p.m., we reached the bus stand. The moment we hit our seats, we were out. A deep, long nap after days of traveling. At 6 a.m. the following morning, we pulled back into Colombo. Vlog note. This trip taught us that even when things don't go perfectly, like the boat shortages and the long waits, the experience is what you make of it. We managed the challenges, stayed as a team, and returned home safely with memories that will last a lifetime.